Come on now, stop crying. You have done enough of it for past 2 weeks. My older brother Samuel said as he entered my much messy room. What do you want me to do, huh? Throw a big ass party about how my boyfriend of 3 years cheated on me with none other than my best friend. I sobbed harder as I rubbed handful of tissues to my nose. Jen. No. I know how you are feeling right now. But you need to get up for yourself. You are such a strong girl. I want you to get a job, work hard and enjoy your life. Don't waste your precious time on those 2 useless people. He caressed my hair. You know what? You're correct. I should get a good job. I have studied for that. Now no one can stop me from working. Unlike earlier my crazy ex-boyfriend used to. I said angrily. That's the spirit. Here's your laptop. Come on, search it up. He handed me my MacBook. My laptop has pink cover with flowers on it. It looks pretty. How did I get so lucky to have you as my brother? I looked at him teary-eyed. To be honest, you are lucky. Dad literally picked you up from the garbage. He tried to muffle his laugh but failed. Samuel. I yelled at him. How about this one? I pointed at one advertisement on laptop. Read it loud. Sam said, sitting on opposite side of bed munching caramel popcorn. Can't you stop eating for like 2 minutes and come see for yourself? I looked at him annoyed by his munching. I'm eating through my mouth. I can hear through my ears. Read it loud, lady. Fine, a young confident, with business degree, good soft skills, good physique. Job, personal. Assistant to the CEO. Wilson Clothing. If interested, report to headquarters on Monday 9 a.m. with your resume. Sister, don't you think it's too late for this job? Why? The interview is tomorrow morning. Right now it's Sunday afternoon. What's big deal? Wilson Clothing headquarters is in New York. He said calmly. What? Are you serious? I looked at him terrified. Yes, Jen. It's such a huge company, for God's sake. Haven't you heard about it earlier? There's no time for this. I need to book flight for New York right now. I searched the earliest flight to my destination. Yes, I got it. Flight leaves in 4 hours. Oh my God. I need to pack. I frantically run to my closet. What do I need? What do I need? Something formal. I throw various outfits from my closet. Why do I have such trash outfits? I need formal clothes. After rummaging through several outfits, I found one which suited best for the tomorrow's interview. Hey. Can you just go through my resume once? I asked my brother as I packed some necessary make-up items. Jen, you can get good job here in California too. Why go to New York? He came to me. Sam, working in New York has been my dream since childhood. And you know that. Please. It will be a great opportunity for me to learn. I placed my hand on his arm. But then you will move to New York. I will have to live here alone. Sam. I will come here to meet you. You can come there to meet me. We will be fine. I assured him. After our parents' death, it was just the 2 of us supporting each other. Then who will? I stopped him. Samuel Landon Martin. You check my resume this instance. Don't forget I have flight to catch. I said in my stern voice. All right, young lady. Good luck. Do your best. My brother hugged me at the airport. Yes, thanks a lot, Sam. For you know everything. I smiled. Shut up and go. He ruffled my hair. After all the process, I was now seated in my flight to New York. I was nervous would be an understatement. I would reach there by midnight. After all the process, I was now seated in my flight to New York. I was nervous would be an understatement. I would reach there by midnight. I have already booked the hotel. And tomorrow morning my interview will take place. The flight attendant gave all the necessary instructions. The flight took off. New York, here I come. We have reached JFK Airport, New York. It is 12:06 a.m. Currently it is 10 degrees Celsius outside. Your luggage will arrive at belt number 25. Thank you for flying with Delta Airlines. The flight attendant announced. Yay! I'm in NYC. I quickly got my luggage from the belt. I was so tired that without even having dinner I just slept off the moment I reached my hotel room. I just messaged Sam that I reached safely. Good morning, Mr. Wilson. My finance manager Stefan greeted as we entered my cabin. Is the financial statement of last quarter ready? I asked him as I sat down on my chair. Why, yes, Mr. Wilson. What is the quarterly revenue of our Seattle branch? I asked him deadpanned. I have. Is the new winter collection we started at the start of the quarter profitable for us? If yes, then what is the net profit and gross profit ratio? I will. What can you say about the EPS of our company due to the advertisement we did with the supermodel? Is it really benefiting our brand? I will look up. You are fired, Srafan. I yelled angrily at him. Sir, I'm sorry, sir, I'm really sorry, sir. The statement is not ready. I will finish it by today, sir. The deadline was yesterday. You didn't come by yourself to say that your work isn't ready. It's when I call you. You lie to me. I won't tolerate this kind of unprofessional behavior. I said. Please forgive me this time, sir. This isn't the first time, Stefan. Don't waste my time. Clock is ticking. Get out of my company. Knowing he is really at fault, he left my office soon. Natasha, what about the interview for my personal assistant? I asked my temporary assistant through intercom. Yes, Mr. Wilson. The interview is scheduled from 9 a.m. Almost all the candidates are here. If you are ready, I can send them in one by one. She spoke from the other side. All right. Send them in. I woke up at 7 a.m. thanks to my alarm. Otherwise I would have slept till noon. I was so tired after the flight. And when I woke up I was damn hungry too. I didn't have anything after I landed. And if you ask about the flight, I just had French fries. I quickly called room service for breakfast. I had 2 omelette and chocolate smoothie. I was full now. I bathed myself. I really loved the soaps which were in this hotel. This was my look for the interview. Tada! I applied foundation, then little bit blush. For eyes I did the mascara. Then I had to apply eyeliner. I love eyeliner. Lastly I applied maroon lipstick. I took my bag, my resume. And I was ready for my interview. I put the sign of clean the room outside my room. After I went out of the hotel, the task was to find a taxi. It wasn't too hard, duh, it's New York. There are taxis everywhere. I got one. Good morning, miss. Where to? Morning. Wilson Clothing, please. Of course. We reached there in 20 minutes. I paid the taxi driver. When I was getting out of the taxi, he said, "Good luck for the interview." Thanks. But how did you know? I asked, amused. I saw your resume and your tapping of foot gave me the other hint. Oh. Yes. Sorry about that. I smiled apologetically. No issues. Goodbye. Jennifer. Marco. He said. Thank you, Marco. And then I got off. I looked up at the skyscraper in front of me. Top of it was the logo of Wilson Clothing. I really wish I get this job. It will be a good break for me. With that thought I entered the building. Just I entered, I saw the receptionist desk. "Hi, I'm here for the personal assistant interview," I said to the young girl. "Sure. May I know your name please?" "Jennifer Martin." "All right. Take the second lift. The interview is on the 20th floor. There Natasha will guide you." "Okay. Thank you." I smiled at her. "Good luck." She smiled. I nodded and proceeded towards the lift. As the lift was going up, I was getting nervous. What if I don't give my good impression? What if they don't like me? God, please help me. I reached the 20th floor. As expected, there were several girls for the interview. I mean, why not? Who wouldn't like to be the assistant for such a huge business CEO? I looked around the room and spotted a lady who looked like the employee here. "Hey. I'm here for the personal assistant interview." "Good. I'm Natasha. I will call you when your chance comes. Till then you may have your seat," she said politely. "Okay. I'm sorry to be rude, but who will be taking the interview?" "The CEO himself." "Oh." After 15 minutes or so Natasha called my name. "Jennifer Martin." "Yes. You are ready to go in." She motioned me to the cabin. "Jesus. May I come in?" A gentle voice came from outside. "Come in." As soon as the door opened, a beautiful girl wearing black skirt and white V-neck shirt entered. As I noticed her, I knew she did very minimal makeup. Unlike other candidates, she still looked stunning. I hope she got brains, because I ain't hiring her if she doesn't show her skills. She seemed nervous, fidgeting her fingers. She has a white resume file, I suppose. "Sit. Good morning, Mr. Wilson. I'm Jennifer Martin." She confidently introduced herself. I liked that about her. Rest candidates were just a stuttering mess when they spoke. "Jennifer, can you give me your resume?" I asked, gazing straight in her eyes. "Here it is." She handed me the file. I had a look at her resume. Lives in California. Has a good business degree from California State University. Aha. No working experience. Strange. "Jennifer, you have an excellent degree in business. Why don't you have any working experience? You are 25, right?" I asks her. "Yes sir, but there is a personal reason for that." "I'm sorry." "Sir." She looked down. "What could that be?" "Alright then, tell me, with zero working experience, why should I hire you?" I asked sternly as I closed her resume and put it on the table. "You will hire me because I can promise you that, this being my first working experience, I will give my everything to my work. I would not give a single chance to you to get disappointed. I can prove you that I'm worthy enough for this job," she said fiercely. Damn. I like her attitude. "You will hire me? Confident, aren't we, Ms. Martin?" I let out a small laugh. She smiled and nodded positively. "Well, I like your fierce, confident attitude, Jennifer. I would like to see you work for me as my personal assistant." "You got the job." She squealed, "Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Wilson. Don't expect it would be path of roses working for me, Ms. Martin." I smirked. "Good for me then, I hate roses." She smirked. Her attitude, man. "Tomorrow 8:30 a.m. sharp with my coffee. I hate tardiness." I got up. "Noted, Mr. Wilson." She left my cabin before giving one small smile. God, I'm excited for her to work for me. She is so different with that sassy attitude of hers. She didn't throw herself at me, she was dressed modestly. Everything was a tick. I phoned Natasha, "Interview is over. Send them all out." Did I just the job? I can't believe it. Oh my God. I got the job. I have to call Sam. I have to call Sam. I took out my cell phone. I dialed Sam's number. Morning, Jen. Sam. You won't believe what happened. I squealed. You met Gigi Hadid. What? Gigi? Seriously right now? No. Oh. I got the job as the personal assistant at the Wilson Clothing. What? Oh my goodness. Congratulations, Jen. When do you join? He was happy. From tomorrow. I said nervously. But where are you going to live? You had the hotel reservation just for today. Yes, I know. I still have to figure it out. I would like some clothes too. On weekend probably I will come back to get all my luggage. But the staying problem exists. Wait. You remember Carter? My close friend from college? He asked. Yes, of course I remember. I even had a tiny crush on him. What about him? He lives in New York. You can stay with him for the time you get an apartment. He suggested. Are you sure? I mean, you two have lost touch in these couple of years. Don't worry. I will call him. I will let you know by lunch. Okay. Sure. Bye. Thank you, Carter. It means a lot. I say to him as I enter his apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, enough for us. Carter, well, he is changed for sure. I mean physical appearance. He has a great body. He even has beard now. I remember him complaining in his teenage years how he wanted to grow beard. No worries, Jen. You are my friend too. I hope you don't mind me saying that. Oh, of course not. By the way, Sam said your girlfriend lives here too. Where's she? I asked. She must be coming from work. She works in. Just then the doorbell rang. There she is. He said and went to open the door. There came in Natasha, the girl from Wilson's. She is his girlfriend. Wow. Small world. Yet I never run into Beyoncé. I don't take credit for that line. Anyways, I love Chandler Bing. She seemed sweet when I met her. Hey you. She smiled, recognizing me. Hey you. I smiled. You guys know each other? Carter wrapped an arm around Natasha. She came in for the interview today at work. And she got the job. Oh. And she is the one I talked about who will be living here with us. Carter said to her. That's great. I will have a girl company now. She hugged me. Thanks Natasha and Carter for letting me stay here. Few weeks until I get an apartment. I smiled at both of them. Sure thing. They both said. I woke up on time for my first day at work. I decided to wear off-white shirt and black pants with black heels. I did my makeup minimal and ND black pants with black heels. I did left my brown hair open with just a clip at back. Are you ready, Jen? Natasha asked from outside. Yes, coming. I came out my room. Natasha was already in black pencil skirt and baby pink shirt. She really was beautiful. Carter was lucky. Come on, let's leave. I said. Wait, first have some breakfast. Carter made it for us before he left for his work. That's so sweet. I am hungry too. Within 10 minutes we both were in Natasha's car, proceeded to Wilson Clothing. Hey, I wanted to ask, Mr. Wilson asked for the coffee yesterday. How does he like it? Any specific? He likes his coffee from the canteen itself. He likes his coffee strong, so 2 shots of espresso will be good and then the normal process. Alrighty. Don't worry. Mr. Wilson is rude, strict and demanding, but I know you are dedicated. You will work it out. Hopefully. I smiled. I went to Mr. Wilson's cabin as I didn't know what to do. But I kept my purse at my space. Natasha showed me where the past assistants used to sit. I arranged the table with all the files on one side. I poured water in his glass. I kept business newspaper on the table as Nats told me he likes to read them first thing in the morning. After arranging everything, I decided to go to the pantry to make his coffee. He will be here in 15 minutes. I had my way to pantry. I took a cup, poured 2 shots of espresso. Then added water and milk. I added 1 cube of sugar. I thought for a moment and added a pinch of cinnamon in his coffee. My mother used to make this coffee. And it used to be my favorite. I hope he likes it. I entered his cabin and placed the mug on a coaster. I was about to pick a newspaper to read something when a deep voice startled me. "Early, aren't we, Ms. Martin?" I turned around. God, you scared me. I placed a hand on my chest. I didn't plan to. Mr. Wilson said and came towards me. He seriously looks so handsome. How someone can be so handsome. He wore a blue coat and pant with very light blue shirt. "Good morning, Mr. Wilson." I smiled. "Morning." He took a look at the table all arranged. He smirked seeing it. "I assume you asked Natasha about everything." He sat in his chair. "Yes, I did. Here is your coffee. And here are all the business newspaper you would like to have a look." He took a sip of his coffee. His facial expressions changed. "God, Jen, why did you add cinnamon to coffee on the first day? You don't experiment on the first day, you stupid lady. Who made this coffee?" He spoke. "Huh?" I mumbled. "You very well heard the question, Jennifer. I made it. There, I said it. There is something different in this." "Yeah." I added a pinch of cinnamon powder. "My mother used to make such coffee for me. I used to like it. But I'm so sorry I changed your daily coffee routine. I will go and just make another normal one for you, Mr. Wilson," I said and started going out of the cabin when he stopped me. "Jennifer." He somewhat yelled. "Yes." I turned around. I liked it. "In fact, I want you to make the same coffee every day for me now." He gave me a small tiny smile. "Really? Thanks then." I shrugged. What would you like me to do today?" I asked in the most formal tone. "For today, go through each file of our competitors, debtors, creditors. I know you can't mug up all that. But remember the main ones. Second, send bouquet of yellow roses to Ms. Marie Bolt saying do not contact me from this moment. Otherwise consequences will be worst. Third, I am the chief guest for NYU post-graduation ceremony. Just recheck my speech for it. My PR must have already emailed it. That's it for now," he said in one breath. Oh my goodness. "All right, Mr. Wilson." And I left his cabin, to do the tasks he told me to do. Get to work, Jen. It's been a month working for Mr. Wilson. As he said, it wasn't a path of roses. His moods changed like seconds in clock. One thing I have learned about him is he is good when you are good with him. But honey, if you come on his bad side, he is the fucking worst. I'm not joking. If you ask about me, I have managed till now not to get yelling from him. I mean, one time he did scream at me, but it wasn't my fault. I did a weekend trip to my home, but unfortunately I couldn't meet Sam as he had to go to France for his job. He is in marketing, so he has to tour around more often. I still live with Carter and Nats. We have grown very close. I really can't thank them enough. But I have seen an apartment already. The rent looks in my budget too. So I'm planning to move out within 2 weeks or so. I can't be dependent on them forever. Today was Monday, that means I have to see Mr. Moody Pants. Oh yes, that's the name I have given to Damian Wilson. Hey Mila. I greeted the receptionist who has become my friend too. Good morning Jen. How's it going? She asked with a smile. Pretty good. Mr. Wilson is not that bad. Lucky for you. Because some people say he is a monster. She winked. I have heard it too. Anyways, I have gotta go. He can be here any minute. I said. Have a nice day. You too. I entered my cabin to find everything arranged for the day as usual. Jennifer was proving to be a dedicated employee as the days passed. She was hardworking, punctual and dedicated. But right now my mood was completely spoiled due to one article which was printed in New York Times about me that was completely untrue. Before this also there used to be hundreds of false articles about me, but it was manageable. This article is about my business ethics. They have printed all the wrong things, how I manipulate the financial statements of my company, selling damaged products and whatnot. If the new customers read this, it will impact adversely on my products. Good morning Mr. Wilson. Jennifer entered with a cup of course in her hand and a broad smile on her face. Call the PR manager right now. Cancel all my meetings for today. I want no disturbance till I say so. I ordered her. She narrowed her eyes. Is everything okay? Don't you have newspaper at your home? I yelled at her for no reason I know. What? She muttered. I placed a copy of New York Times in her hand roughly. Read the headline. She took a look and looked up at me. I have read this article Mr. Wilson. And still you ask me is everything okay? I asked irritated. Mr. Wilson, you are a public figure. People will publish such things about you. You just have to ignore it. Oh really Ms. Martin? You are teaching me right now. I know what is expected out of a public figure. Hundreds of false articles have been published about me before. That was okay. But today the article is about my business ethics. This I won't tolerate at any cost. So just do as I said. She looked at me with fierce eyes. Fine as you say Mr. Wilson. Asshole. Jerk face. Stupid. Idiot. I was just trying to help him understand, but he had to give me lecture. Does he think I'm stupid? He has such a goodwill in the market. One article doesn't change that. People respect him so much in the corporate world. Anyways, why do I care? His PR manager will also say same thing to him. After 3 hours his PR manager left his cabin with a tired look. Obviously 3 hours listening to this moody pants anybody will be worn out. My intercom beeped, Mr. Wilson. I went. In his cabin all ready to hear something bad or him yelling screaming at me for no reason. Yes Mr. Wilson. I asked with plain face. I need Jennifer Martin special coffee. He said with a small smile. My lips involuntarily curved little upward hearing it. Right on it. I said and turned around. I was about to put my foot forward when someone held my hand and turned me back. It had to be Mr. Wilson because there was no one other than us. I ignored my stomach doing somersaults and asked him. What? I'm sorry for yelling at you earlier for no reason. With that being said he gripped my hand little more tight. And I swear my stomach had a party of butterflies. Oh my God. His touch is magical. Calm down Jen. Calm down. Why you are apologizing? I asked with my eyes widened. Yes I am. Am I forgiven? He steps forward. We are standing very very close for a boss and personal assistant. Yes why you are forgiven. I said and pushed him little away to breathe in. Thought so Ms. Martin. Now please bring me my coffee. He smirked not able to utter a word. I just nodded and left from there. The moment I entered the pantry I kept a hand on my chest. I was breathing so heavily. Damien made me so nervous and jittery being so close to me. Damn it. I didn't even feel like this when I was with Caleb. Damn. Hot. I was working in my cabin peacefully when I heard commotion outside. What is it? I dialed the intercom. Jennifer didn't answer. This hasn't happened before. Where is she? And what is this noise about? To look up, I went out to find my assistant Jennifer hugging a guy. Who the hell is he? Her back was facing me so I could clearly see the guy. He was well dressed, good-looking guy, but why is he here? He is definitely not my employee. Who the fuck is he? And why is she hugging him? Jennifer Martin. My voice boomed. She quickly broke the hug, but the smile didn't leave her face. She looked at me with confusion. I went towards them to have a nice talk. What the hell are you doing? I asked, looking dead serious in her eyes. He is my. I didn't let her finish. I'm not blind. I know who he must be. I don't pay you to hug your boyfriend during office hours. Isn't it clear, Ms. Martin? Mr. Wilson, you are getting it wrong. He just. Shut up. Come to my cabin this instant. I said and left from there. The moment I entered my cabin, an uneasy feeling rooted inside me. Why was I so bothered about her boyfriend? Of course, because she was wasting time during office hours. Oh please, Damien. My inner voice chided. Jennifer is a very beautiful woman, I admit. She is best at her work, that's it. There is nothing more than that. I tell this to myself. What was that? Jennifer asked the moment she came in. I should be the one who must ask you the same question. I said, not looking at her, checking something in my laptop. Mr. Wilson, the guy outside is Samuel Martin. Martin. My older brother, for God's sake. And I wasn't wasting time as you claim it. He was here for a meeting with the marketing head, Mr. Carnes. We didn't meet for a month. He just came to me to surprise me. And you had to blast on me. I was just telling him that you aren't that bad, but you came and yelled at me for all the wrong reason. She said it all in one breath. Damn it. He is your brother. I said. Wow. You only heard that much. You are so infuriating. I didn't say anything for a couple of minutes. But then I have to say this. Look, I'm sorry. Okay. She didn't say anything too for a few minutes, intently looking at me. All right. Is there any work for me to do? It is past my work time already. She said, folding her hands at her chest. No, you may leave. Night, Mr. Wilson. She said and left. She was clearly annoyed because of me. Such a jerk he is. How can he assume that Sam is my boyfriend? And even if he was, what's the matter with him? He is just my boss. On the other note, Sam just came to meet me in office because he couldn't stay here any long as he had a meeting back in LA. I wanted to talk so much to him. I wanted to show him the apartment, but alas, God had some other plans. But Sam has promised that he would come by next month, so that's a good thing. I was now living in my apartment and not with Nats and Carter. I was happy that I could rent an apartment with my own earned money. I always wanted to work, but Caleb always told me not to work, and like a stupid girl in love I used to agree to him. Anyways, I'm just going to head home now. How much more stupidity should I showcase in front of my assistant? That guy was her freaking brother, and I, the great Damien Wilson, assumed him to be her boyfriend. Wow, just wow. And I don't even know from where my jealous side just came out. Why was I jealous? Jennifer is just my assistant. She is my employee and I'm her boss. That's it. This inner voice has to stop. I just had my dinner. I made meatballs and some noodles today. It was pretty good for the first time. When I used to live in California, Sam used to cook for us as he is really a great cook. I never had interest in cooking. Mom used to scold me that I should at least be able to make something in case of emergency. I always used to ignore her by saying I will learn it later. But now I miss her. I miss her scolding me. I miss her cooking. I miss everything about her. No tears right now, Jen. I was not at all sleepy. Nor was I interested to watch any show on Netflix. So I decided to take a walk in the neighborhood. It was around 10:30. I know it was little late, but they say that New York never sleeps. So yeah. Here I was walking on the streets of New York. Shops were closing down but restaurants were wide open. I was so mesmerized by the nightlife of New York I didn't know in which direction I started going. Before I knew it was too late because now I was on a completely deserted and unknown street. Oh God! Where the hell am I? What should I do? No one is there here. Okay. First of all, calm down, Jen. You have your mobile. You have GPS. I put my address in GPS and it started showing me the directions. I started walking following the direction, but there was still a long way till I reach a crowded place. I was walking as fast I could. But suddenly I heard a slurred voice of some guy. I turned around to see 3 men, little drunk, looking at me with dirty eyes. Where are you going, honey? Let us show you the way. Don't worry, we won't do anything. One of them with blonde hair said. I just ignored them and started walking away. But the problem was I was walking in the opposite direction of my house. Those men were standing in my apartment's direction. Hey, come back here, you beauty! The other guy screamed. I flinched while walking, but I continued walking. I was hearing their footsteps. They were following me. God, what should I do? Suddenly a hand gripped my arm forcefully. I turned to see that blonde guy smirking at me. Leave my hand, you bastard! I screamed as I struggled within his grip. TSK. Such a beauty. How can I leave you before getting a taste? Shut up, you asshole. Leave my hand this instant. Otherwise, what, baby doll? Fine, you asked for it. I kicked him where sun doesn't shine. You deserve it. He fell clutching his crotch. But there were 2 other guys I forgot. I ran. They were still following me. There was no one on the streets. Where the fuck am I? I was running, looking behind me as they were running behind me. And I bumped into a hard wall. There wasn't a wall here. I got prepared to fall on my butt, however my butt didn't touch the ground. In fact, 2 arms wrapped up around me. I looked up to see, oh my God. Damian Wilson. What is he doing here? Damian. I said breathlessly. I just had my dinner. I made meatballs and some noodles today. It was pretty good for the first time. When I used to live in California, Sam used to cook for us as he is really a great cook. I never had interest in cooking. Mom used to scold me that I should at least be able to make something in case of emergency. I always used to ignore her by saying I will learn it later. But now I miss her. I miss her scolding me. I miss her cooking. I miss everything about her. No tears right now, Jen. I was not at all sleepy. Nor was I interested to watch any show on Netflix. So I decided to take a walk in the neighborhood. It was around 10:30. I know it was little late, but they say that New York never sleeps. So yeah. Here I was walking on the streets of New York. Shops were closing down but restaurants were wide open. I was so mesmerized by the nightlife of New York I didn't know in which direction I started going. Before I knew it was too late because now I was on a completely deserted and unknown street. Oh God! Where the hell am I? What should I do? No one is there here. Okay. First of all, calm down, Jen. You have your mobile. You have GPS. I put my address in GPS and it started showing me the directions. I started walking following the direction, but there was still a long way till I reach a crowded place. I was walking as fast I could. But suddenly I heard a slurred voice of some guy. I turned around to see 3 men, little drunk, looking at me with dirty eyes. Where are you going, honey? Let us show you the way. Don't worry, we won't do anything. One of them with blonde hair said. I just ignored them and started walking away. But the problem was I was walking in the opposite direction of my house. Those men were standing in my apartment's direction. Hey, come back here, you beauty. The other guy screamed. I flinched while walking, but I continued walking. I was hearing their footsteps. They were following me. God, what should I do? Suddenly a hand gripped my arm forcefully. I turned to see that blonde guy smirking at me. Leave my hand, you bastard. I screamed as I struggled within his grip. TSK, TSK. Such a beauty. How can I leave you before getting a taste? Shut up, you asshole. Leave my hand this instant. Otherwise. Otherwise what, baby doll? Fine, you asked for it. I kicked him where sun doesn't shine. You deserve it. He fell clutching his crotch. But there were 2 other guys I forgot. I ran and I ran. They were still following me. There was no one on the streets. Where the fuck am I? I was running, looking behind me as they were running behind me. And I bumped into a hard wall. There wasn't a wall here. I got prepared to fall on my butt, however my butt didn't touch the ground. In fact, 2 arms wrapped up around me. I looked up to see, oh my God. Damian Wilson. What is he doing here? Damian. I said breathlessly. Bring me the file of the summer collection for Chicago office. Also book a reservation at Hyatt Regency for lunch for 4 people. I have a meeting with Mr. Henry. You will be coming too. Tell Mr. Lewis to meet me at 4 here with the sales structure of our new trouser collection. Damian spoke without looking at me and typing something on his laptop. I took a breath and asked, okay. Anything else, Mr. Wilson? He looked up, his eyes gazing at me. Mr. Wilson is not what I told you to address me. I'm sorry. I'm not used to it yet. Get used to it, Jen. He smirked. Or else what? I will fire you. He shrugged. I know you can't and won't. Jen. He looked at me with warning. Now what? He is going to call me Jen. Should I stop him? Or is it okay that he calls me Jen? Yes, from now on I will call you Jen. And you should not stop me. Because I like it. He smirked again. God, I said that loud. You are still saying it loud. Fine. I will get to work. I sighed and left the cabin. We were now going to the lunch meeting at Hyatt. Obviously it was a 5-star hotel. What do you expect from Damian? Yes, now I also call him Damian. It feels odd, but he just ordered me like anything. We are here, Mr. Wilson. Mason, Damian's driver announced. Mason opened the door for both of us. There was no need to open the door for me. I was just an employee. But I liked the little special service I received. We thanked him and proceeded towards the lounge. The manager greeted us and welcomed us. We sat side by side, keeping the opposite couch for Mr. Lewis and his secretary. Talk to him when really required. Damian said, looking at the menu. And may I ask why? He is not a good man. Too many personal dirty stories. Then why are you doing business with him? I asked, confused. He is good in business. Simple. He shrugged. I just shook my head. On the queue, Mr. Lewis arrived with his secretary. He was a man in his middle 50s, very fit though. He had a big white beard. His secretary was wearing too much vulgar clothes for my understanding. She looked in her early 20s. "Good afternoon, Wilson," Mr. Lewis said with a smug face. "Afternoon, Mr. Lewis." Damien was no less. Who might be this beautiful lady? He looked at me with pure lust in his eyes. I felt disgusted. "She is my secretary, Jennifer Martin." Damien introduced me. Mr. Lewis smirked and extended his hand for a handshake. I didn't want to do the handshake, but I also didn't want to be impolite. So just for the sake of it, I met my hand with his. His grip was very firm. Damien coughed to gain Mr. Lewis's attention and he succeeded. "Let's talk business, Mr. Lewis," Damien said and motioned everyone to sit. After 2 hours of discussion, explaining, understanding, Mr. Lewis decided to supply his goods, which are raw material, for my company at the lowest cost than my other competitors. I didn't forget to notice Jennifer's discomfort. Whenever Mr. Lewis used to try and talk to her, she would answer in monotone. Obviously she didn't like him. His looks were so dirty. I shouldn't have brought Jen here. After the meeting I excused myself and my mom called me. When I returned back, Mr. Lewis was telling Jen to accept the job he has offered to her, which includes being PA on outside, and obviously I know he just wants to sleep with Jen. How dare he? Jen. I smiled and wrapped my arm around her waist to pull her closer to me. "I'm sorry, now that meeting is over we shall leave." I looked at her and could see sense of relief on her face. "We should, Damien." She smiled back at me. Mr. Lewis excused himself. "Ha. Thought you needed a little help there." I whispered in her ear. "I did. Thanks." She turned to me. We were standing too close. Our lips just centimeters away from each other. She had her hand on my shoulder and mine were on her waist. We kept looking into each other's eyes. No one willing to break the eye contact. Just to ruin the moment, her phone went on. She excused herself and went to answer the phone. And on that cue, Mr. Lewis's secretary approached me. "Hey Damien. What are you doing tonight?" she asked in a seductive tone. "I'm going on a date with me." Jen answered it. I looked at her surprised. Shocked to be more precise. She was smiling at Tanya the secretary. Tanya's face was worth watching. Gloomy face. "Shall we go, Damien?" Jen sweetly asked me. "Of course, Jen." I wrapped my hand around her waist and left the hotel. "Thought you needed a little help there." Jen mocked. "Haha. I did. Thanks." I smiled. We reached the company in no time. Soon we got busy in our respective work. Jen. In the cabin. I intercom her. In a minute she was inside my cabin, with her notepad. "Which is your favorite restaurant in the city?" I asked her. "What?" She looked taken back. "Which is your?" I heard it the first time. "But why are you asking that? You forgot. You said right, we are going on a date tonight." "Then where do you want to go?" I asked with a hint of smile. I was just kidding there." "You really want to go out?" she asked, surprised. "Well, I would like to." She thought for a couple of minutes and said, "I won't consider it as a date. It will be just dinner." "Ah, you broke my heart." I faked a sad face. "Huh, don't worry, you will get over it." She smiled. "Alrighty. Be ready at 8 tonight." She nodded and left my cabin.